Welcome to another edition of The Coaches Show right here on SportsNetUSA.net. I'm Avery Jordan here with Luke Hobbs, and we're here at the Fullerton College Jazz Festival. And Luke, today, there's over 30 schools here, ranging from junior high, high school, and colleges, all from the local area.
And it's really a great opportunity for them because there are countless forums where the students can come and they can learn from professors about what kind of jazz there is, how to play it, the history of jazz, and then on top of that, they even compete in a style not unlike the Michelle Crew Classic like we saw just a couple weeks ago with so many schools all going against each other.
And music can interrelate to sports, and we'll show you how in these interviews with some of the participants. And now I'm joined by Tommy Bloomberg. Tommy, thanks for joining us. What instruments do you play?
I play guitar.
Okay, and about how long have you been playing guitar for?
Probably close to like 8 years.
Okay, cool. We like to relate things to sports here on this. This is the Coaches Show.
Okay.
So, with you play guitar. How long does it take you to practice normally, like for a day?
Right now I'm doing like 6 a day.
Like 6 hours a day?
Yeah.
That's like a whole school day.
Yeah.
So you practice about 6 hours a day. Does your guitar have a specific name?
No, I'm not good enough to name my guitar.
Okay. So you like to play acoustic. What's your favorite song to play?
Dang. I don't know. My friend Nick wrote a song that I like to play a lot. It's called The Weather Song. It's fun.
The Weather Song?
Yeah.
Okay, and what did you write the Weather Song for? Was it for you, or was it just because he's just into weather?
No, he's just a cool kid. He likes to write music.
Okay, so let's relate this to sports. You go out and you compete. You have been in a part of competitions before.
Mm-hmm.
So you go out and you compete with a team, pretty much.
Yeah.
You have your band. It's kind of like a team. How many or how hard is it for you guys to all be on the same page?
It's pretty hard. I mean, either if you're in an orchestra, you got to follow the conductor a lot, and if you're in jazz, you got to just practice a ton. Like, you have to build a lot of, I don't know the word for it. You have to build a connection with people, and it takes a lot of time. Like, you can't just sit down with someone and just immediately have like a good playing connection. It's something you have to work with.
So it is kind of like a team, like a sports team, where you can't just show up on someone's team and you're like, hey, we're just going to start playing together and be great. You kind of got to practice, and I think the word you were looking for was synergy.
Yeah, definitely.
Or like energy between people. So thank you for taking the time to do this interview. Once again, I'm here with Tommy Bloomberg on the campus of Fullerton College. Now I'm joined by Jessica Lemire of Fullerton College. Jessica, thanks for joining us. Here on the Coaches Show, we like to relate sports to music.
Okay.
That's our episode today.
Nice.
So what instrument do you play?
I sing, actually.
Oh, you sing.
Yeah.
How long have you been singing for?
Pretty much my whole life. I started singing seriously when I was in like middle school.
Okay, and have you always been into jazz, or has it been just anything?
Mostly it started out with like pop music that I was really into, and then I started doing a bunch of choirs, and when I got to school here, I joined the jazz department, and it was just like a great experience, and it's helped me grow a lot.
Okay, so what's the difference between jazz and, well, other types of music for singing, jazz and pop music, for instance?
Jazz is definitely more related towards like the theory aspect of things. I mean, not in all cases, but a lot of times it's more like
Abstract?
what's the word? Yeah, a little more abstract, I'd say. Like there's a lot more complex chords, a lot more like freedom as well. Pop music is kind of just like, okay, do this and this and this, and there's like a formula. Whereas jazz, you can kind of do whatever you want, and it's pretty cool.
So which one do you enjoy more?
I like both of them. I think that like the jazz helps me with my pop music as well because it just creates a really great foundation.
Okay, so when you're practicing, it's like a sports team. You can't just, well, you sung with other people before.
Yes.
So singing together with people, how much practice and effort does that take for you guys to come together and sound like one voice?
A lot. You have to definitely practice on your own individually just to learn your music. And then when you come together, you have to make sure everyone has everything down, everyone's blending properly, all the chords are locked in tight. So a lot of times we have sectionals, and so like it'll be like we have our alto section and our soprano section, and we'll spend time on our own groups and work on things, and then we bring it together and spend a lot of time doing that as well. So it is a pretty extensive process.
All right, well, thank you, Jessica, for taking the time to join us here today on The Coaches Show.
Hi, I'm Luke Hobbs, and today I'm here with Ron Shelton. Now, Mr. Shelton, can you tell us a little bit about why you're here today?
I am here as a father because I have a 7th grader trombonist in a jazz ensemble and a 11th grade daughter who's quite a vocalist. And they were here last year too.
Now, they go to Windward High School, correct?
Yes.
So the trombone, I actually have a little bit of experience, is a difficult instrument to play. Can you talk about how your child works on that and how they practice?
Well, for a boy, it's a fun instrument because it's physical and you get to, you get to try to hit people in the back of the head with it. No, he's very serious. He takes studies downtown at the Coburn School. He's in several jazz groups at the Windward School. I can't play an instrument, but he reads music and he's very serious.
Now,
And he plays baseball too.
And he plays baseball too. Well, that ties into my next question perfectly. So, music is something that requires passion and quite a bit of work and practice to be good at it, just like sports. Can you speak to how that's been your son's experience?
Well, they're both disciplines. I think it's great to have disciplines that you learn that the harder you work, the better you get, and that there's no shortcut for hard work and discipline and training. I'm very old school like that. And I believe that if you can figure out how to schedule it into your lives, the kid could study music seriously and athletics seriously, and there's no reason they can't work hand in hand.
Now, one interesting thing about music is that people tend to think of it as an individual sport, if you will. But oftentimes, like in this setting, it is a team activity where it's a whole jazz band collectively. How's your son dealt with that, working as a team but musically?
Well, I think it's in a certain way, baseball and jazz fit perfectly together because they're individual sports within a team framework. It's one-on-one when it's one-on-one, and it's 9-on-9 when it's 9-on-9, and sometimes it's a shortstop on a second baseman work. So it's all these combos, and that's what jazz is. It's you solo, and then you're part of the team. And I never made that connection, so thank you.
Well, you do have a bit of a sports background yourself. Can you share that with us?
I played high school basketball and baseball in Santa Barbara High School and college at Westmont, and played professional baseball in the Oriole organization for several years.
And then I believe your life after sports also translated to the film industry?
I wrote and directed some movies, Bull Durham and Tin Cup and Why Men Can't Jump and a whole bunch of others. I'm working on one right now.
Can you share anything with us about that one?
No, it's still editing it, but I'm writing the Joe Namath story, so there's one. So working with Joe on that. But no, I'm here as a dad. This is strictly dad time, kid time.
And what has your children's experience been here at the Jazz Festival so far?
Well, last year my daughter won a vocal award, which allowed her to audition for the Monterey Jazz Festival, and she was accepted as one of 3 female vocalists, and she just got back from Monterey. So this is a really great program here. Historically, the teachers are professional musicians. It's a very high level, Fullerton College, because I'm a Southern Californian, I've known about it forever. But it's world class, and I'm just thrilled that my kids could be part of it.
All right, well, good luck to your children today, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
And now I'm here with Jeff Jarvis, an adjudicator here at the 44th Annual Fullerton College Jazz Festival. So, Mr. Jarvis, can you tell us a little bit about your background here at the festival?
Well, actually, this is my first time adjudicating at the festival. I was asked to do it several times, and I had conflicts with other festivals, so I made sure that Bruce and I got our signals straight, Bruce Babad, who runs this festival, so that I'd be available this weekend. I've been wanting to do it for probably about 10 years now, so it's actually my first time. So.
And what is your experience with music?
Well, I'm the Director of Jazz Studies over at Cal State Long Beach, and I'm a professional trumpet player and composer. And Bruce and I have met because he also does a lot of judging at other festivals, and we've gotten to know each other quite well during my 12 years out here in Southern California. And so we've had a long relationship, and that's pretty much what brought me here to work at the festival.
Now, sports is something that requires a lot of work. That's what our show mainly focuses on here. And music is also something that is quite a bit of effort, especially if you want to be great at it. As a professional musician, can you tell us about how you've had that experience?
Well, I think there's a lot of correlation between the two. I mean, if you have a championship football team, they need a coach, and the coach needs to be somebody that can take a variety of talent and pull that together into something that works and something that wins. And the other thing too is that the players have to develop camaraderie. They have to develop skills. They have to have a culture of excellence, of consistency. They have to be able to work on and off the field. If they don't do their conditioning, then come try to do, start with spring training. If they're a baseball team, it's just not going to work. And it's the same thing with music. We have to stay on our game, or else, people are going to know if we haven't practiced for a couple of days. They'll definitely sense it.
So how do you keep your performers in tip-top shape? As you just mentioned, you have to keep practicing, and athletes have to keep working at it.
Right. Well, at the college level, and of course at professional athletes, your impetus is different than when they're little kids and they don't have the discipline. For my guys at the college level, they have to do a lot of individual practice to be at a level that they get into that band in the first place, and the onus is on them to keep their game up. Just like just because you got drafted by the Yankees doesn't mean you're going to stay there. So it's very much the same. I mean, it's a skill that needs to be nurtured every day and developed, and conditioning, and it's physical, it's mental. It's much the same as for athletes.
Now, here at the festival, it is a competition. What are you grading these performers on?
Well, they'll be graded, or they're being graded on various aspects of their performance, on all musical terms, of course, but it's a jazz festival, so it's on jazz style, on improvising solos, on general music issues such as playing in tune, playing together, having a nice blend, having a nice balance. Very much the same thing as say, a football team. You can have a bunch of people that are fantastic football players that are a horrible team, if they don't work together. So that's what we try to do, is to try to give them tips about things that they can improve on, and hopefully, bring their performance to a new level.
And you mentioned you've been wanting to be an adjudicator here for about 10 years. What is it about this festival that made you want to come?
Well, first of all, my friendship with Bruce, but it's also a very, very big festival. It's also nearby, so I have a vested interest, because we usually have at any one time as many as 3 people in my 17-piece band that are from Fullerton College. So it's also a recruiting thing for us. It gives me a chance to hear who's hot and who's not in the high schools, and also it's another way of saying thank you to Bruce for referring students to us.
All right, the recruiting, another way where it ties into sports. Thank you so much, Mr. Jarvis.
My pleasure.
All right, and now I'm joined by Howard Hardaway. Thank you for taking the time to join us right now.
Okay, thank you.
You said you have a son
Yes.
who goes to Orange County School of the Arts.
correct.
What instrument does he play?
Well, he actually plays the alto sax and the baritone sax.
Okay, and how long has he been playing for?
Actually, since about the 8th grade. So he's now in 11th grade, so he's been playing for 3 years.
Okay, do you see him doing anything with this? Maybe going to college, trying to get a scholarship?
We'll see. If it pays for school, I told him to go for it, but I wouldn't care. I just want him to go to college.
Okay, and now we're here on the Coaches Show. We like to relate things to sports.
Okay.
So we're going to relate this festival to sports. So
Cool.
what kind of practice or work ethic does your son exhibit when he's trying to practice?
Well, right now, he's coming along. He's starting to get into it. He hasn't been practicing as much as we want to, but he's starting to. So what does he exhibit? Right now, it's a lot of effort. And that's all I really care. It's just that he gives 100% effort.
As a parent, you come here and you watch your son perform. How does that make you feel to see him up there performing with the rest of the band or his orchestra that he's with?
Oh, it's a blessing. I'm happy to see him do it. I mean, who gets to do this type of stuff as a kid, right? You get a chance to either play a sport and be on a team, or to play music or instrument and still be a part of the team, but not a lot of people, to me, get to do it at this level, so I'm very happy for him.
Did you play any sports in high school?
No, I went to St. John Bosco, but actually I was just a student in school.
Okay, so looking at your son playing with a team,
Okay.
what kind of synergy do you think that he has to have with his other bandmates in order for them to come together and be one sound?
Well, I told him this is a team. I mean, he may look at it as music, but to me, this is a team. So I tell him, no matter what, don't lose your team, right? Stay within your team, play your spot, but understand how you fit in that group with that team. So he's been really good at it. He has an ear, but I told him this is music, but yeah, it's still a team, and that effort to me will transcend this into everything.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Hardaway, for taking the time to join us right here on the Coaches Show on SportsNetUSA.net.
Okay, thank you.